So we were doing record number in work-based learning. Our students were actually going to industry all over the place, into all different industries, from the health sciences to the engineering to construction, HVAC. Our students were everywhere, and it's not that they didn't continue doing that. Once March hit, things changed a little bit, but for the most part last year was probably our record highest number of work-based learning, whether it be a job shadow or an internship or a paid co-op. We were doing very good with that. Most of our programs were starting to compete. So we won the state culinary tournament. We were on target to go to the state tournament for robotics. Our welding and auto collision and auto tech were ready to go to compete at Skills USA. Our graphics, we won several awards in graphics and photography for the state. So we were ready to go on target in March when all that hit. We finished the conference center. 2 years is the full year we had open, and it is beautiful out there. Anderson 1 uses it a lot. Anderson 2 does as well. We have some community partners that use it as well. So it's been a fantastic addition to our school, which then have allowed us to open up our old conference area to mechatronics, and that has become a beautiful facility and has allowed us to use a lot more equipment.
How did your programs adjust? Because you're so hands-on on so many programs. How did y'all adjust when suddenly you went home and never came back?
Sure. So, within 24 hours practically, the whole education world was turned upside down in March. And that includes career and tech ed. And so we had to adjust, and we had to figure out how we were going to finish out the school year as much as possible, and we had struggles along the way. I hire teachers to demonstrate and teach their craft. And it's very difficult when you're transitioning to a digital world and you're teaching somebody how to weld. It becomes quite a challenge. So a lot of our seniors this year missed out on the hands-on activity because of that. We've tried to go back and try to help individually some of those, but it has just created a huge barrier. It's something that we've never done before. And I know that we say that now in 2020, this is something that we've never done before, but it really is something we've never done before. And so we've struggled and we've overcome some of it. Some of it we're still waiting on outside industry to certify our students. Our CNAs at this point never have got certified. We're still struggling with our cosmetologist and LLR to be able to get those in for testing. So we've got a lot of industries that rely on outside agencies to be certified, and we're still kind of in limbo with that.
So people don't realize how complicated all the moving pieces are.
Sure. It's not just the education piece. It's not just the South Carolina Department of Education. It's not just the 2 districts. It's the outside agencies that control some of the certifications that go along with career and tech ed. Our students want to be here. They take us because we have that applied learning. We have that hands-on education, and that's what they want. And so it was very difficult. So there are some classes that we can do, some virtually for a short period of time. Others are not as easy. So we've prioritized this year. We've looked at the standards. We have essential standards now that we're going to look at that the State Department has come up with. So when we start school back and we have that hands-on time, that face-to-face time, we don't really know what it's going to look like, but when we have that, we're going to take advantage of those and primarily work on those face-to-face skills that we can work on and the stuff that we can do outside of that virtually. Then if that time comes where we're going to be somewhat virtual or all virtual or modified or hybrid or whatever you want to call it now, then we'll be able to do that during that time. We do internal goals every year. I think each department does goals. Our work-based learning, I know, does goals. There is a lot of things that we were working toward getting. We had a couple of donations kind of just hanging out there we were assuming is going to come to our way to help. So there was equipment that we were expecting to purchase to help with with our students and those kind of things. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. We have about 21 different programs that students can come take. This is high school students, and they're all career and technology focused. We have things from your traditional vocational programs like cosmetology and welding and auto tech, to some of the more high-level advanced classes like aerospace and engineering and AP computer science. We focus on media broadcasting and graphics and digital art design, firefighting, law enforcement, all of those type courses. So we try to focus a program in many different career cluster. We do work very closely in conjunction with economic development here. We work closely with our individual businesses. We've got a lot of businesses that are involved in helping us decide on where we're going, and we're going to need a lot of that this year, a lot of support from our businesses, because we still want them to take our students. You know, that's the most valuable lesson, to know that a student is ready for the workforce is our local businesses taking our students. So we're going to rely on them this year to continue to support us and take our students and allow our students to come in and have an opportunity to work for them. So yes, we look at all of that. We're still looking in the engineering and health sciences field. Computer science fields are growing up pretty heavy. Programming. We've got a new game design program. There's a lot of money in game design nowadays. So that's coming in. I would think those probably are the largest growing. Construction, though, is amazingly have just grown in the last 3 years. We're actually adding an electricity component to that and a plumbing component. We actually hired another teacher to help assist with that. We are following DHEC's guidelines very, very specifically. We are making sure that everything that DHEC is requiring of schools is also required of us. And as you notice when you walk through the facility today, the classrooms look a little different. You know, we've taken out extra equipment, extra furniture we're not using. The desks are socially distant, so if you look through just where we're sitting at now, the desks are 6 feet apart, and that creates hopefully a safe space so students could, you know, if they need to take off their mask a few minutes, they can do that, and we can provide that opportunity because we all need that to a point. We're going to be looking at small group activities in a very limited period of time for right now. Probably 10 minutes or less here and there, just until school starts back up and it kind of runs its course and we see what it looks like. You know, our main goal is to keep our students safe and our faculty and staff safe. That is hugely important to us right now. So we want to make sure that we create an environment that's safe for everybody. Needless to say, the last month we've had a lot of changes, not just internally, but also the governor and the state superintendent of education and the South Carolina Department of Education and DHEC have put all these regulations on us. So we've come up with a return to school protocol that we're working with Anderson 1 and 2 on. We feel that we're all in a safe place right now. We have a great plan in place. Obviously there's going to be more cleaning, a little more hygiene involved, some more additional safety measures. Social distancing obviously is the big key to this whole issue is the social distance. So we're going to create that space here as much as possible. And we're fortunate to be able to do that because our labs are bigger. You know, our classrooms are bigger. So this is a classroom and a lab put together, and it's much bigger than a traditional classroom is. So we feel that we can create that environment here. We will be ready when students are ready to return. We're still scrambling at the last minute. We're trying to get some infrastructure in place as far as some higher strength Wi-Fi. That needs to happen because some of that virtual school may happen. So we need to be ready for it. So our classrooms for the most part are spaced out. You're gonna see when you walk through the hallways, they're gonna look a little different because of the non-essential furniture. So some of that's gonna look a little different, but for the most part, our students come directly into our classrooms and they stay in our classrooms for the duration of their time here, and they leave directly after that. We don't have a lot of transitions, we don't have a lot of socialization. They stay in their classrooms and they can socialize, they can get their curriculum, they can learn a skill and hopefully get that whole student in this one classroom. Students have the option to go 100% virtual. When that happens, they can come to us still face-to-face. We don't have a 100% virtual option here in our courses. Clearly, Weldon is not conducive to that, so we wouldn't be able to create that atmosphere here. But like I said earlier, we create an atmosphere where we have smaller groups together. Clearly, social media is the easiest way to find it. We've included those things on our website, and our 2 districts have it on their websites, and they're pushing out on social media. That's the easiest way to find things. I ask people to bear with the education community right now because they're still kind of getting things together and still pulling things together, and counselors are still getting schedules together. So we're all working very hard to get that together, so please bear with us. Support your educator. I think that's important this year too. We're all nervous. We're all scared. We all don't know what's going to happen when the students come back, but we're ready to see our kids. We're ready to see the students come in here and us do what our passion is here. And our passion is to teach, and we're all ready to get back to that.